Hello everyone, welcome to Product Chronicles, Product Stories from Jaco. I'm Joca Torres, here to share with you real product stories from Jaco, showcasing how to tackle product management and digital transformation challenges through stories from my over 30 plus years career helping companies building successful products and the lessons I've learned along the way. In previous episodes, I talked about how at the beginning of my career in 1992, I started working as a product manager without realizing it, well before this career actually existed, which happened only in the early 2000s. I also discussed how data is essential for managing our product and our company, and how product vision is key not only for internal alignment but also for external audiences, including potential investors. In the last episode, I talked about product discovery and the misconceptions we make when we think that discovery is a process, when in fact it is a set of tools to de-risk the product development, and it is also a mindset. If you haven't listened to those episodes yet, go check them out right after listening to this one. In this fourth episode, the plan was to talk about 3 other very common misconceptions in product discovery. But I decided to change it because a very important topic came up, the concept of founder mode, which, in my opinion, is very connected to the vision topic we saw in episode 3. I was, and I'm currently a founder, and I had the opportunity to work with some founders. I think that the topic of how the founder works with his team is very important for the success of a company. Shall we? First, I will explain why I decided to release English and Portuguese episodes. As a Brazilian, I noticed that the challenges and concerns in product management are quite similar worldwide. While many understand the operating model of Silicon Valley tech companies, they often find it challenging to implement these models in regular companies. This inspired me to demonstrate through these chronicles how product concepts, principles, and tools can be applied in any company to achieve remarkable results. Okay, now that this is clear, let's discuss the founder mode. Paul Graham, Y Combinator's co-founder, wrote recently about a talk that Brian Chesky, Airbnb's co-founder, gave at a recent Y Combinator event for founders. Brian shared some of his learnings in Scale Airbnb in his talk, and that he was advised to hire good people and give them room to do their jobs. He said that he followed this advice and the results were disastrous. It seems this had happened to all the founders that were present at the event. After disaster results, Ryan decided to go back to being more involved in the details of what people in his company were doing. According to Paul Graham, this is a distinct approach where founders are more directly involved in their companies than traditional managers. He contrasted the founder mode with the traditional managers, calling it the manager mode. So the key aspects of the founder mode include the direct involvement of founders. They engage with different levels of the organization, often bypassing the standard hierarchy and interacting directly with various teams and employees, the famous skip level, so to speak. Also, the hands-on approach. Unlike manager mode, which emphasizes the delegation and autonomy for direct reports, the founder mode allows founders to be more engaged in the details, often breaking the traditional rule that CEOs should manage only through their direct reports. Adaptability. The founder mode is not rigid. It allows founders to adjust how much they delegate based on their company's specific needs and their trust in their managers. This approach is flexible and often changes as the company evolves. And another aspect that Paul mentioned is it is contrarian to the conventional wisdom. It challenges the idea that founders must step back as companies grow, showing that active, involved leadership can be more effective even in larger companies. Overall, the founder mode leverages the founder's unique perspective and drive, often feeling more intuitive and effective for founders than the more detached style typical of professional managers. I strongly agree that the founders must get involved in the company's details to help it grow. The founder had the original vision of what she wanted to build. What is the problem she wants to solve? For whom? What is the motivation to solve the problem? And what is the solution hypothesis she has to solve this problem? She needs to get involved in creating and testing many solution hypotheses. And once a solution is found, she needs to work with the team on how to make the solution evolve and serve more people over time. However, when Paul Graham talks about getting involved in details, he warns about the risk of the founder not delegating and this becoming a huge obstacle to the company growth. In his own words, obviously, founders can't keep running a 2,000 person company the way they run when it had only 20 people. There's going to have to be some amount of delegation. Founders who are unable to delegate even things they should will use the founder mode as an excuse. So this is Paul Graham's own words. In the article, Paul mentioned Steve Jobs as a great example of founder mode, citing how Steve used to skip levels to get into the details of how things were built. However, curiously, Steve Jobs is also credited for the phrase, "It doesn't make sense to hire smart people and tell them what to do. We hire smart people so they can tell us what to do." So, was Steve Jobs contradictory? Was he saying one thing, hire smart people and let them do their job, and doing another, skipping levels to enter into the details? I founded Diodata, one of the first internet service providers in Brazil, in 1992, and I'm now back to being a founder of Jaco, my consultancy services company. In the meantime, I worked in companies in founder mode as well as in manager mode. So the first example is Via Networks, the company that acquired Diodata. And they had a clear plan to acquire ISPs around the globe to create a global internet service provider and eventually make an IPO. No long-term vision other than the financial goal. No wonder the company doesn't exist anymore. There was not much concern about the product, only that we should have a standard product portfolio from the acquired company so we can present ourselves to the stock market as a single company. So this is a clear example of manager mode in action. Condomínio. After leaving Via Networks, I joined this company called Condomínio. It's a data center company, or it was a data center company, led by professional managers. The focus was to acquire companies to create a big internet service provider. No wonder also the company doesn't exist anymore. And it's even quite hard to find any news about this company. Localweb, which is the leader in internet services provider here in Brazil. I joined this company, and back then it was a web hosting company. I joined them in 2005. Gilberto Maltner, one of the founders of the company, had a clear vision that Localweb should help businesses to emerge and thrive through technology. That's what originated the portfolio diversification strategy that led the company to have now more than 25 years. And the company is 25 years old, and it is valued in more than 2.5 billion Brazilian reais in the stock market. I was fortunate enough to work together with Gilberto between 2005 and 2016 and help the company to execute its vision. Gilberto frequently jumped into the details of the execution. And given his technical background, even code implementation was a topic he discussed with the teams, always with the purpose of helping businesses to emerge and thrive through technology as the context. Another company, Conta Azul, the leader in ERP for small business in Brazil, was founded in 2011. They had a clear vision to boost small entrepreneurs' success by bringing to small businesses more organization, control, and time through technology. I joined the company in 2016, and in my role as the CPO, I was able to help Vinicius Roveda and the other founders to make the vision more clear to the whole company and even to the market, to a point that the vision helped us secure a 30 million US dollars Series G round back in 2018. Founders close to the business, discussing details of important implementation, and with a clear vision of what they were building was essential. And now Conta Azul has more than 100,000 clients. Gympass, or WellHub, is a corporate benefit that companies offer to their employees so they can access a network of gyms and wellness apps. I joined the company in 2018 by an invitation of Cesar Carvalho, one of its founders. He had a clear vision to where he wanted to take his company. He wanted to defeat inactivity and was finding ways to do so. Initially, it was gym passes that anyone could acquire in their website. Eventually, it became the corporate benefit HRs hired to offer to their employees. When we were able to make clear what our vision was and even the opportunities to expand beyond workout into wellness, this helped Gympass raise 300 million US dollars in its Series C. Even becoming a unicorn, Cesar continued to get involved in critical details to guarantee the vision was executed as envisioned. Lopes is the biggest real estate company in Latin America. The company is publicly traded since 2005, but it's led by the Lopes family since its foundation in 1935. I had the opportunity to work closely with Marcos and Francisco Lopes, the founders' grandchildren, the third generation of the leadership of the company, and it was clear how important it is to have the founders' vision clear during all important decisions the teams needed to make. I helped them to make clear the three-match vision they had, that Lopes helps people find their place, connecting them to the most suitable property through the best broker, the best agent. Tree match is the ideal meeting between client, property, and broker. This clear vision helped guide the entire Lopes digital transformation efforts. So after more than 30 years, either as a founder or close to founders and professional managers, I noticed some intrinsic elements of each operation. And this may be useful to expand the founder mode concept introduced by Paul Graham. He was right on point when he detected and named it the founder mode, but his definition can be expanded to include an important aspect to the leadership mode concept. Focus. Things will definitely go wrong if the leader has the wrong focus. Whether a founder or a professional manager, doesn't matter, it will go wrong. We need to consider the leader's focus, whether she is focused on a long-term vision and how to execute this vision, or on short-term financial metrics and how to improve those financial metrics. We can have founders who envision where they want to get, while other founders may pursue financial targets. On the other side, we can have professional managers who not only carry on, but also evolve the company vision. And we can also have professional managers who are only focused on short-term metrics. So adding this new dimension or this new aspect, we can envision 4 modes of operation. The first one, a founder mode with vision focus. So the founder knows what she wants to build. She can communicate this vision to the team clearly and help the team build the strategy and the path to get there. Some examples: Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Brian Chesky, Reed Hastings. There is also the founder mode with financial focus. So the founder started with an idea, started with a vision, but is now pursuing every shining opportunity that appears in front of her because she needs the cash and she's focused on getting cash. She changes direction every quarter, if not every month or even week, to pursue these financial goals. So some examples, some companies that did that in the past: WeWork, Theranos, Jawbone, MoviePass, Oyo. So those are some examples of the founder mode with financial focus. Professional manager with vision focus. Professional managers can not only carry on the vision but also evolve the vision. She also is very capable with communicating this vision to the team, making it clear to everyone, and help the team to build the strategy and the path to get there. So I will give some examples that you probably know: Satya Nadella, Sundar Pichai, Sheryl Sandberg, Jeff Weiner, Tomer Cohen, the CPO of LinkedIn. So those are examples of professional managers that have a clear focus, a clear long-term focus, a clear vision where they want to get. And we have also the professional manager with a financial focus. So a professional manager with the focus only on the financial metrics. So she may use means that could even harm the company in the long term or even be unethical. Like some companies that did that, you're probably going to remember: Enron, Sears, Lehman Brothers, Wells Fargo. Well, those are the examples of professional management, but with the short-term financial focus. We can even place this in a 2x2 matrix, where we have in the horizontal axis the mode, founder mode or manager mode, and in the vertical axis the focus, vision focus or financial focus. Other interesting examples are Lisa Su at AMD, who revitalized the company with a clear technological vision to face the competition from Intel and Nvidia, and Mary Barra at GM, leading the transition to electric vehicles. These examples show how professional managers can evolve the company vision in transformative ways. Some important considerations about the mode of operation and focus analysis we've just discussed are the connection between vision and sustainability. It's one important observation that we can make is that founders and managers who focus on vision often lead companies that last longer and are more resilient. This highlights that a clear long-term vision can drive sustainable business growth, whereas a purely financial focus may lead to short-term gains but long-term instability. One other aspect to consider is the short-term versus long-term, because this is a common concern of many, if not all, startups, is how do we manage to survive and earn the money we need to be here tomorrow and the day after tomorrow and be able to execute our long-term vision? Well, nobody said it was easy, but some companies were able to survive this dilemma. Google, Microsoft, Apple, Netflix, Airbnb are good examples. In Brazil, we have Lopes, Localweb, Contazu, Gympass, iFood, Nubank, Itaú, who is making a fantastic digital transformation work. Those are excellent examples for us to learn from. Another aspect is the risks of the extreme financial focus. Being too focused on short-term financial metrics can be very risky. Not only does it drive short-term decision-making, but it also undermines team trust, erodes customer loyalty, and often cultivates a toxic culture that can be detrimental in the long run. It may even lead to dangerous and unethical behaviors. The impact of vision communication is also critical, because we need to clearly communicate the vision, not just as a strategic direction, but also as a tool to motivate and align culturally the team, the company. A strong vision acts as a North Star, guiding the teams through challenges and keeping them focused on long-term goals. The vision, where we want to get, and the strategy, how we get there, must be clearly communicated and constantly reminded so everyone is aligned and rowing in the same direction. Some challenges of the founder mode is that even though a founder should get involved in details, this is no excuse not to delegate. As Steve Jobs said, we hire smart people so they can tell us what to do. The way Paul Graham described the founder mode may cause many founders to go into more and more detail with the team, which is not scalable. The correct way to scale is to set a clear vision and communicate it so everyone is aligned, and the smart people that we hired help us execute the vision. As Jeff Bezos said, you need to be stubborn on your vision, but very flexible on the details. So, after all of this, I want to propose a definition of founder mode, expanded from Paul Graham's original article, with concept from Jeff Bezos and Steve Jobs. So here it goes. Founder mode is a mode of operation and leadership where the founder sets and clearly communicates a vision, defining what the team is building for whom and why the team is building that, so that the entire company is aligned and understands their purpose. In this mode, the founder's role is to bring smart people to the team who can help bring the vision to life. The founder can and should engage with the team on the key details that are critical to building and realizing the vision. I hope that this definition clarifies the founder mode and that anyone, even non-founders, who are hired as professional managers, can also operate in this mode. This is very important. The founder mode is not exclusive to founders, but professional managers, as we saw in the examples above, they can and they must operate in this mode as well if they want to take the company into the long term. So, are you and your team aligned with a clear vision, or are short-term metrics driving your decisions? We have reached the end of the fifth episode of Product Chronicles, Product Stories from Jaco, where we discussed founder mode, a brand new topic that has been discussed among startup founders and in the product community. After listening to this episode, I believe it has become clear that the founder mode is not just about getting involved in the details, but rather about clearly defining and communicating the vision of what you want to build, assembling the team to help build that vision, and working with the team on the most important details to make that vision come to life. I hope these stories have provided insights that may be helpful in your journey. In the next episode, we'll be back to the product discovery topic, and I will talk about the 3 other very common discovery misconceptions. Thinking that you need to discover everything, thinking that discovery is about understanding the problem, and thinking that engineering should focus on product delivery. So stay tuned for the next episode to understand why there are these misconceptions and incorrect ways of understanding discovery, and what we should do to avoid these misconceptions. The episode is, as always, filled with stories to illustrate the concepts, principles, and tools of product management. Remember to follow the podcast, share it with your network, and send us your questions through Jaco's social media. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for our next episode of Product Chronicles, Product Stories from